Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Up here on the lake this evening, I only have about an hour and a half at most to fish. I had originally drove to 3 other places, and it was just too growed up and nasty, and I didn't want to deal with any more ticks and whatever that I'm probably going to deal with up here too. But anyway, I'm just taking 2 rods and a couple of things down with me. We want to see if we catch some bluegill, bass, whatever, in this little pocket that I haven't fished a lot this spring or fall or winter. So anyway, we'll see you when we get down here. All right, I think we're going to start with something small right here. All right, down to the nitty-gritty. I may retie and try to catch something off of one of these beds or something else before I leave, but we're going to try to catch us a bluegill so we don't got a skunk. Oh, something large. I can't baby it too much because of all this structure around here, but at the same time I can't risk snapping my line. And of course, I don't have my freaking, oh, tangled up in my other rod. Dude. Berthas eat peanuts too. Let me sit this over here because I'm probably going to retie. Put a wacky rig or something on. Alright, well, skunk's off. I'm going to take and retie, and hopefully I've got some plastic worms or something with me that I can wacky rig with. I've got the tool, but I don't know that I've got the baits. Well, apparently I have left my wacky hooks at home, and the only stick baits that I've got are some of the 4-inch Yum Dingers. And I took a little EWG ball head Texas rig deal, and we're going to make it work with that. Improvise, adapt, overcome. Probably snag. Alright, I don't want to dwell too long in this spot, and my line's tangled up over my hook keeper. So we're going to move down the bank a little ways, see what all we can find. Now, we're not looking for bass in particular or bluegill in particular. We're just looking for pretty much whatever wants to bite, like usual. Alright, one more cast in this spot right here, and then we're going to move down. I'm taking only about 3 to 5 casts per little pocket to fish in, since we don't have a whole heck of a lot of time. But I chose this rod here. It's my 6-foot 1-piece ACC rod, and 1,000 reel with 10-pound braid. And then this one here, a 6'9" medium with 20-pound. That way, you know, I've got something to handle bigger fish, but I've also got this one, which is really, really good for smaller fish also, especially with that 10-pound braid. Now, I do know there's some pretty good fish usually hang out in this little pocket, because I've caught one of my biggest largemouth out of here. I saw a really large carp up there earlier, and I've caught some good sized perch out of here also. Oh, that ain't a bluegill. That's another decent sized bass, and I don't think I'm honestly not comfortable trying to climb down that. There we go. Pretty bass. I ain't gonna complain if we catch nothing but bass. Alright. Don't exactly have a decent place to drop you back down. So, I'm unfortunately gonna have to toss you a little bit. And since that spot is now pretty much contaminated with all that commotion, we're gonna move on down again. We got us a little, well, had us an old greeny sunfish. Well, like I said, we had us an old greeny sunfish. Hey, we got us another. You know, this ain't been a bad stop. It was really just a spur of the moment thing, because like I said, I drove to 3 other spots. Nice green sunfish. I drove to 3 other spots, ended up coming here, and we've caught some fish. Well, there's the last snag that I want to deal with for the night. I gotta walk through these woods and it's already dark enough, so we'll probably pick it up on another day. Alright, it is obviously the next day and we're back up here in the same spot on the lake. And when I pulled up here and was getting my stuff together, I realized something. I left a very valuable piece of equipment at home, and that is my GoPro. Fortunately, I have my GoPro 5 in my vehicle with me. Kind of is like a secondary camera for, you know, B-roll and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, we got that rigged up. Hopefully the batteries I've got with it are charged up. Downside is the SD card in this is pretty small, so I've only got about an hour and 20 something minutes worth of footage. I'll have to just delete stuff eventually. But we're going to kind of bounce around this bank and see if we can find some more big old bluegill, greenies, some bass, whatever else. Alright. Hopefully this GoPro 5 still works. And I also brought my net with me. I almost never do that anymore. I mean, it's always in my vehicle, but it's never with me. Alright. We're probably another 100 feet down the bank, and I'm starting to see a lot more beds that I didn't see yesterday. And the fish that are guarding them, they ain't all that big, but they're fish. Oh, shit. Oh, he had it. I missed it. How did I miss that hook set? It was in his mouth. I felt it bite. God darn it. I'm going to get this bass. Got you that time. You wasn't happy about that thing being down there. Of course, it is that time of year where ain't no bass happy about bluegill being around. I'll set my rod down before I drop it. Pretty little bass. Unfortunately, I am about 6 or 7 foot up the bank, so I have to drop you down there a little bit. And I really want to tie on another little crappie magnet or trout magnet or something. There's a bunch of bluegill playing around right here, and I wouldn't mind catching a couple of them. Before I forget, what we caught it on was just a Euro tackle. I think it's the 2-inch Fat Assassin or something like that, on a Owner Cotiva EWG, I think 1/32 ounce worm hook. Just Texas rigged it. I mean, taking your normal bass baits and downsizing. Even a bluegill could get this down if they were big enough. And there's plenty of bluegill in this lake that can take that down. Like, there's bluegill in here that can take down a 4-inch swim bait. I got you. You just shot up out of nowhere. One of about 60 different bluegill down there along that tree. You just came out of nowhere and was like, nope, you can't be here. Got you. Well, if I didn't know any better, I'd think you were the one that I caught just a little bit ago, but you're a little bit smaller. Well, I was going to release you a little more gently, but you decided to do all that nonsense. Well, apparently it was still on there. Yeah, I just came back through in the same spot and something picked it up and I didn't realize it still had it in its mouth. And I missed that hook set. Third time's a charm maybe? 73rd? 26? Nope. Third time. God, these spotted bass are something else. They're meaner than a rattlesnake too. And their teeth on their lips are like 60 grit sandpaper. It's something else. Well, first fish in a hot minute was a teeny tiny little green sunfish. Pretty little fish. But I did see one that's a massive one out there swimming around. It's just getting his attention again. Fish. I don't know how well this one's hooked, so I'm just kind of babying that drag. Where's my net? Oh, dude, there's a monster largemouth following it. I'm trying to eat it. Jeez, dude, you freaking see that red ear. Stop. That is freaking enormous. He was stunned a little bit. I had him out of the water a little bit longer than I should have, but it swam off just fine. But yeah, there was a huge largemouth swimming around after it, trying to eat it. I'll show you real quick what I caught it on. It's just a 1/32 ounce mule jig with a 2.2 Dakota Sunrise mule minnow. And I think I'm fishing way too shallow. Like that one, I just kind of bombed it out there as far as I could, let it fall to the bottom, which red ear sunfish are bottom feeders more often than not. But I let it sit on the bottom for a second and just started working it back and just felt a little, and fight was on. And it was about 30 foot out here is when that largemouth decided to come along and try to eat it. Now that largemouth did get it in its mouth a little bit, but not far enough to do any good. Fish. Unfortunately, this one ain't a real big one because I'm about 8 or so feet up the bank. I think I can get you. I can get you unhooked. See these little spotted bass like this? You know, they're nothing special. They're not huge, but they're just so full of attitude. That right there is just a little piss missile. I'll take those little bass like that all day long because they don't stop fighting. And since there was one there, might as well give her another little castoroni and see what's down there, if anything at all. Another fish. Jeez. Another little piss missile, aka ditch pickle, green carp, bass fish. I forget what this little bait right here is called, but I've got it on a little 1/32 ounce mule jig head, and I'll leave it somewhere on the screen here so you can know where to look, and if I can remember to put it in the description. So you can go buy some. Gotcha. Alright, you little pecker. Pretty fish. Another little spot. Right down before I lose it. Gotta get a picture and get you back. Well, YouTube, I'm calling it quits. It's 3 o'clock and I've got plenty of editing to do. But this wasn't a bad little stop. Definitely better than yesterday evening because we only had about an hour or so to fish yesterday evening. But we've obviously got pretty much the rest of the day to fish today if we wanted to, but I don't really want to. But anyway, caught some decent fish, especially that just ginormous red ear sunfish. I'm pretty sure that is tarp eligible. I took photos and measurements and all that stuff, and I'm going to check that when I get a phone signal and get that sent off and took care of, because it's awesome to get, you know, some kind of recognition for your trophy class fish here in the state of Tennessee. And if you're wondering what the TARP program is, it is the Tennessee Angler Recognition Program, and any angler with a valid license, resident or non-resident, can submit a fish as long as it meets the species requirement and the minimum length requirement. You take a photo of the fish next to a good visible measuring tape. I like using that Stanley measuring tape. It's just really bright and easy to read. And then you print off that picture and send in an application with a $5 money order to TWRA. It's in the regulations book and you can print them off online. But anyway, had a good time up here on the lake. Hope you liked the video. We'll see you in the next one.